Have you ever wondered how many moves the average player uses over the course of a playthrough? Now, I don't have the answer, but whatever it is, I'll be lowering it today, since I'm gonna beat Pokemon with just one move. Now the first question is, what move do I use? There's so many awesome moves in this franchise with a variety of effects and typings to think about, but think smaller. Our moves are restricted to what starters learn at level 5. And we're probably not going with Growl or Leer, so Tackle, right? It's kind of the de facto Pokemon move. So now that we got our move, let's pick our game. So we have quite a few options, but I'm picking Heart Gold and Soul Silver, because I think this is the least painful option. Let's get started. So we get a choice between Chikorita and the one we're actually going to take because its home region doesn't hate it. As you can imagine, the beginning of the challenge is really different, because all we do is click tackle. Opposed to, honestly, I don't have a line to put here. We get the egg from Professor Elm and have the most normalist battle of all time. We grab some extra team members, which I'll need since I won't be using items in battle today. And with our move, there are plenty of options. So I don't plan on using multiple of the same Pokemon either. We A-button press our way to Violet City, heal at this pivotal Pokemon Center. Then in preparation for the first gym, I caught a Mareep and more importantly, a Geodude, since it's really good in the early game, resisting the first 3 gyms. And when you can only use Tackle, typings are more about defense than offense. The Pidgey is really no trouble at all. The Pidgeotto, on the other hand, is kind of a menace. Each individual tackle does so little, meaning it takes our 3 best Pokemon just to stall out the ruse, but Rattata was able to come in and finish it off. On the way to Azalea Town, we evolve our starter and pick up the Old Rod, while trying to avoid every hiker we can, because I ran into this hiker and he wiped my team except for Geodude, who ran out of tackles, so it straight up just put me in gay baby jail. So let's never fight that guy again, okay? Instead, let's go stop an illegal poaching trade. Geodude is just kind of that guy here, and hopefully he'll show more of that in our second gym battle. If you played this game, you know exactly what he wants to do. He's gonna U-turn, deal a pretty good chunk of damage, bring out some fodder, and then U-turn some more. When he brings out his Kakuna, I bring out my Rattata, and get that guts boost. What can I say, man? I've watched a Nuzlocke video before. Rattata gets knocked out before it even gets a chance to use the guts boost, so I bring out Flaffy and finally get the static I've been fishing for. I then bring back in Quilava to finish the job.
A few moments later.
How did I lose that? Instead of just banging my head against the wall until I win, I decided to bang my head against this Onix, so I can catch it. Now Onix sucks, but it's basically a second, slightly worse Geodude, which would have made all the difference in the last battle. And what do you know, we win on the run back thanks to Onix. Next up is our second rival battle, and he leads off with a Ghastly. Oh no, it's a ghost type, whatever shall I do? Ghost types definitely weren't the first thing I thought about when planning for this video. Okay, so I have 2 normal types in my party. The only way it can deal damage to them is using takes half its health. And look at that, it committed die. From there we managed to squeak past his Croconaw by getting static to proc, granting us the win. We head to the forest and get cut. Now you might say, did you really beat the game with just Tackle if you used HMs? And to that I say, Goldenrod, home of the game corner, and inside we find 4 different items, all of which feel as though they were designed for this challenge, increasing our Tackle's power or accuracy, and then I proceeded to grind all the coins, just like I've been grinding all of my Pokemon for this video. From there we take the radio card quiz. I always fumbled the last question, but how am I supposed to know the radio host's name if I can't listen to the radio until I pass this quiz? Passing prompts the dreaded Whitney to return to her gym. The most challenging opponents so far have been that spam healing Pidgeotto and those defense curling Geodudes. And Miltank, it can do both. But I've been concocting some schemes to beat her, and the one I landed on is really stupid. First we return to Violet City and talk to this guy, and anyone who has an unhealthy relationship with Pokemon knows. He gives you 3 eggs, one of which contains Slugma. Now, Slugma doesn't get tackled, But there's more to Pokemon than just attacking. I'm gonna be utilizing Flame Body. Miltank does have a Lumberry, so is this the smartest way to do this? Absolutely fucking not, man. But I think it'd be kind of neat. The battle starts with Clefairy versus Onix. Now my Onix is a fine young lady, so it takes down Clefairy with ease. I decide to stay in for Miltank, since we have Metronome powering up our tackles. But Onix and Metronome, it still sucks, man. Commence the scheme. We bring in Flappy to waste the Lumberry. Then time to make... Okay, so that didn't work out how I wanted it to. Quilava does some big damage, but with even more healing, we're cooked like 88% beef at Taco Bell. After a few more attempts, I realized I'm not Flame Body. So, see, I'm getting a Gyarados. A, because 6 Intimidate drops should trivialize this battle, and B, Blue Gyarados is just cooler in this game. The drops make it really easy to get static off, and from there, it's not a quick path, but it leads to victory all the same. On the way to Ecruteak, I stopped by the Pokeathlon, which that'll be important later. But let's just head up to the home of the Ghost Gym. I'm just kidding, we're fine. In the route left of Ecruteak, we'll find Miltank with its very vital ability, Scrappy, letting normal moves hit ghost types. Except there's just one teensy problem. How wild Pokemon movesets work. They know the 4 most recent level up moves. And at level 13, we've already reached the point where Tackle doesn't make the cut. And the move relearner isn't available until we reach Gym 8. Instead of worrying about that, let's just beat our rival. We handle Ghastly the same as last time. From there, just intimidate his starter. We head downstairs and see some dogs. But who cares about dogs? They can't tackle. And that's why they didn't make Airbud about football. They did? Both? As I was saying earlier, Miltank is too high level. But let's catch this here Ditto, and 9 months and some change later, we have a tackling Miltank. On to the Morty battle. To quote Sun Tzu's Art of War, every battle is won or lost before it is ever fought. Most of his Pokemon only have Ghost-type moves, and even when they have, say, Hypnosis Dream Eater, I just bring out my Insomnia Normal type, and watch it. As for big, scary Gengar, I give it an Intimidate drop, and its 5 Sucker Punches aren't doing much. So another badge in the bag. After this, we get Surf, which really opens up the region, so I beeline it for the 5th gym. I really want that 5th badge, but it won't be simple. On one hand, Triple Intimidate is pretty good against 2 physical attackers, but on the other hand, Double Team into Focus Punch is pretty lame against Mono Tackle. I guess it's time for what I've always wanted, using a Pokemon that doesn't learn Tackle. Thanks to Flame Body, hitting no longer matters. But that plan actually sucks. It's super inconsistent, and I lost this battle like 10 times straight because I didn't plan for Poliwrath at all, so I get a Mantine. Now, when Poliwrath comes out, I get it down to -6 attack, bring back Mantine, then let Water Absorb stop his singular special move. And since its other moves are weakened, it should be simple. But I'm just gonna let this part speak for itself. The paralysis luck was insane. All of them were life and death. So yeah, another badge. How is this one so hard? Back in Olivine, we climb up the lighthouse. The sheep is sick. I mean, look at it. It's bald, but at least it's doing something good with it. I mean, it's powering up the lighthouse with its baldness. Well, this gym battle is all about redemption. Starting first with Guts Raticate. Pre-activated. Are you seeing that damage? Are you seeing that damage? Okay, so even if I make it past the 2 annoying jerk-face Magnemites with their Thunder Wave Supersonic combo, behind them is Steelix, and it's, no exaggeration, 200 defense stat. But I've got the perfect scheme to take it down. Switch in on an Iron Tail and bring out Magmar. Now we get that juicy residual damage. But unfortunately, so does Steelix with Sandstorm, and in the end we lose the battle of attrition. But the way forward is pretty clear. Just don't get hacked as bad by Magnemite. Round 2, I utilize the ultimate stall by using the game's AI against it. It goes for Rock Throw on Magmar, bring in Graveler. It goes for Iron Tail, bring back Magmar, rinse and repeat until it goes down. All thanks to Flame Body. We then head north to the Lake of Rage where we find this red Gyarados. I don't know, it seems to be in pain, must be sick or something, so we put it out of its misery. After that, we meet up with Lance to take on Team Rocket's world-threatening level 17s. At least our starter evolves right before the Ice Gym, which is cool. The battle starts with Typhlosion vs. Seal. Just picture 32 turns of breath spamming. Out comes Piloswine, and I just want to bait out his Blizzard. Swap in Gyarados, bring back Typhlosion on Blizzard. Then bring back Gyarados for Mud Bomb immunity. I was expecting a long, tedious process, but I got a lucky crit, so I take it down no sweat. Now, the most annoying Pokemon, Dugong. All this thing wants to do is rest, sleep talk, rest, sleep talk. That sounds like a lot of turns. And a lot of turns means my metronome is fully charged, giving us the knockout. This begins the evil team portion of the game. As you can imagine, level 24 Pokemon aren't super threatening. So I'm just gonna speed past this stuff. Damn, this game almost has as many outfits as Scarlet and Violet. We make our way to the director's office and beat the imposter. In the Goldenrod Tunnel, we battle our rival, but he has like level 28s for some reason, so what could have even went wrong? Then we go find the real director in the back of Electrical. Then we need to go all the way back up to the top of the radio tower to stop them from calling an emergency meeting, preventing their dad from coming home, because sometimes it's for the best if those toxic people in your life aren't good. Alright, we head for Blackthorn, home of the last gym. I gotta prepare for this one. I caught a Pineco, found a hard scale, joined the Poke Olympics, and here I can get a Water Stone and a Metal Coat, giving me a Vaporeon and a Steelix. The 8th gym battle begins with probably her most annoying Pokemon. All it does is click Dragon Rage. There's no counterplay, I just have to sacrifice 2 Pokemon to get past it. Next is Kingdra, which sounds really bad, and it is, but in this game, gym leaders heal the first chance they get, and then they save the second for their last Pokemon. So we only need to beat this thing once. I gotta get damage where I can. Go for Tackle with Vaporeon, switch out on Smokescreen or Dragon Pulse, then the Hydro Pump heals me back up, leading to more Tackle Chip. And this strategy is enough to get the Citrus out of the way, with Miltank coming in to finish it off during the Hyper Beam recharge. Now, I have no clue which Dragonair this is, but I do know it's gonna Thunder Wave, so let's test my Paralysis luck. And it's bad. There's no way I'm making it past the final Dragonair twice. So close yet so far. After a few more losses, I did the rational thing and replaced my Tauros with a new one that had a better nature. So new Tauros takes out Gyarados without fainting. Then I got his Dragonair in a loop of Thunder Wave my electric immunity, Aqua Tail my water immunity. After the Aqua Tails are gone, Steelix can just wreck it. Next is Kingdra. I know how to stall out its Hydro Pumps, so after they're all gone, I bring in Fortress to finish it, since I can afford the damage. It shouldn't be much help against Fire Blast Dragonair anyways. Unless I just abuse the AI some more by wasting all of its Fire Blasts on Vaporeon and Thunder Waves on Steelix, and from there, we have way too much for her to handle, completing our badge collection. Next we took on some dancers. Long story short, I used Tackle. We head to the top of the bell tower to summon the legendary bird, but if it really wanted to join the team, it would figure out how to play some goddamn football, hit the showers, better luck trying out next year, bird brain. Well, nothing left but to head for the Indigo League. I make my way through the empty Victory Road, but I'm stopped at the last step. One final rival battle. The guy has one fully evolved Pokemon. What do you want me to say about this battle? Well, we've reached the league, so I don't know if you guys have been paying attention, but I've been designing a perfect team for every battle, and that's not gonna fly here. I'm gonna have to try to make a team for Lance. And the mindset is, if I can make a team that can beat Lance, then I should be able to reach Lance. Now with my movesets all ready, I'm ready. Our first opponent is Will, and the battle starts off pretty painlessly. His Xatu likes to use me first, which, against Steelix, go ahead man. Next is the very annoying Slowbro. It just wants to spam I try to deal damage quickly with Tauros, until it starts actually fighting, then it's time to switch in Miltank, so it can deal as much damage as possible until it goes down, with Tauros coming back in to finish it off. because from trial and error, I learned Tauros is really important for this one. And it shows it immediately, destroying Jinx. Here comes another problem. Executor. I quickly damage it before Reflect goes up, then Fortress does as much as it can before Tauros swoops back in to steal another kill, and his ace is kind of whatever. The second member is Koga. He doesn't have a single move that Steel type doesn't resist. Well, other than the ones that are completely useless, it wasn't painless despite that. I had to make his Muk struggle because Minimize plus Black Sludge, when you basically do no damage even when you hit, it kind of blows. Watching him waste his Full Restore on it made me smile. The third is Bruno. He's getting all reliable triple Intimidate. We both lead off with him on top, but I switch because, yeah, that. Thank you, Fortress. You did your best. Onyx comes out, and Steelix, I needed a big bro this guy. It goes down, but not before Steelix did, unfortunately. Ultimately, my Pokemon are way too weak by the time Machamp comes out. So on attempt 2, everything just goes better. I play around counter better, I get some more attack drops so Steelix actually beats Onyx, and I'm in a great position against a lone Machamp. And I'm taking his attack down. At a -6, he might as well be Muscle Bob Buff Pants. The last of the Elite Four is Karen. Her Umbreon may be annoying, but it never gets past Steelix. And she agrees, swapping it out for Gengar. But she can't fool me. This thing's moveset is horrid. I make it use all of its Focus Blast on Gyarados, bring back in Miltank, might as well be a sit and duck out there. That was really great, but out comes Houndoom. There's no game plan here. Tauros, I need you to carry. Okay, and yeah, we get swept. So attempt 2, I didn't learn anything. But I guess neither did she, since this time it just did a nasty plot. So yeah, another win for me. On to the champion battle. Now this may be our first 6v6, but it's more like a 6v10 with his 4 full restores. Attempt 1, we make it past 3 Pokemon and 2 full restores. The halfway point, not a great place to lose. Alright, attempt 2, different plays, but I lose at the exact same spot. Attempt 3, things change until they go the same and I lose at the exact same halfway point. I kept slamming my head against the wall, hoping to find a tackle-shaped hole, and I don't believe it exists, man. So I decided to kick things up to level 55, and just like that, I make it all the way to his 5th Pokemon and 3 full restores used. Which still isn't great, but it felt possible. The pieces are starting to fall into place. First, my Gyarados has to force his full restore. After that, he'll switch to Aerodactyl. But after an Intimidate, Steelix can destroy it. Then, Gyarados finishes its job. And since Gyarados just got a knockout, he's gonna bring out the Thunder Dragonite, which once again is a job for Steelix with Intimidate's help. Now the hard part, Charizard with a full restore. This one is Miltank's moment. It does a ton of damage, but ultimately, Tauros has to finish it off. Thank God that's over, now to deal with 2 Dragonites and 2 full restores. Steelix and mostly Tauros get him down to the bottom of his 2nd health bar. And as a bonus, he finished Tauros with Outrage, meaning Fortress can come in without worrying about Fire Blast and finish it off. The final Dragonite is an endurance match. How many moves can he miss? Can I punish Hyper Beam? Can I break through Para? All while switching out to get extra Intimidate drops, dealing damage where I can. But I know I can't let him use that full restore. I need a crit so bad here. But I don't get it. Him on top gets some extra tackles in before going down. All that stalling wasn't in vain though. It has no more blizzards. And the CPU isn't going to use Dragon Rush after all those attack drops. It's going to Hyper Beam. And Gyarados survives. Here we are at the champion. This is, I have 3 HP, all my mons are dead. It's just me and this Dragonite. Now, it just used Hyper Beam, so that means it's gonna have to recharge. But I'm paralyzed, so it all comes down to if I can move or not. After hours and hours, I finally beat this battle. The run, however... Now, I don't really know how to pace the upcoming Kanto section, but to be fair, neither did Game Freak, so... Alright, I'm gonna reveal the truth about challenge runs. There's no tension unless you're at level 100. Everything in this video so far has been constructed to make a compelling tale, when in reality, I could just smash every gym leader using my troublesome tackling troop. And that's what I did in Kanto. I'm not gonna break down every gym battle, because to break it down, you see, I broke down all of them, and damn, it felt good. But I got Red in the thumbnail, and by God is he gonna be in this video. And to keep it a million billion, if I can beat Red, that means I can beat any trainer in this game. At the top of Mount Silver, the final battle commences. Now, I have prepared quite the team for this, but let's start with the classics. Gyarados lead means obvious electric move, means Steelix comes in and takes it down before a full restore can even come out. Blastoise is the next member. We bring out Snorlax and switch in Lugia for the Focus Blast. I know what you're thinking, using Lugia, that's crazy, you can't, no. But to be fair, it can't attack. I just wanted pressure to stall out Focus Blast. Snorlax then cleans up. Before his Snorlax comes out, I take it down and force a full restore finally. But with Tauros going down, I don't have any real damage dealers left for Lapras, and I lose. Attempt 2, had the worst luck ever. Attempt 3, have worse luck somehow. Okay, enough is enough. I get a new Miltank, since Thick Fat actually has a use here. After like 8 more attempts, I decide, this sucks, man. And now I'm level 92 across the board. After a few more attempts, I get into a good run for when Lapras appears. Then Snorlax tries to deal some damage before going down. I do the same thing with Gyarados, and then finally Miltank takes it down. Then Venusaur is a battle. I switch in Lugia, switch it out on Sludge Bomb, switch it back in for Giga Drain, and in exchange for both Steelix and Lugia going down, Red just heals and I lose. You feel that, Red? That's the girth of 96. This extra power lets us beat Pikachu with more health, meaning I can stall the Venusaur for longer later in the fight. Now its Giga Drains are all gone, so it's forced to knock out Lugia with a Frenzy Plant, giving Tauros an opportunity to knock it out before it can heal. And for real this time, I can't let 3 full restores be used, let alone 4. I bring in my super healthy Gyarados. I've been saving it just for this. I get it down to yellow, and I switch to Steelix. This is just for some extra hail damage, to get in range for a Tauros tackle. Now, I just hope he doesn't heal, and with one last tackle, I did it. I beat the game with just tackle.